On this Ram 2500 HD with the 6.4HEMIGas engine, P0175 means the PCM is seeing a rich fuel control condition on the 2/1 side of the system. The truck may have a MIL on, and if it is stop/start, that system can be disabled while the code is active. Drivability may be normal, or there may be fuel system or general drivability complaints. The important point is not to jump straight to an oxygen sensor. This code can be caused by an O2 sensor or wiring problem, but it is often more likely to come from a mechanical, fuel, or air handling issue. Before testing, start with the basic system checks and follow a structured diagnostic approach. At a high level, this emissions monitor is meant to catch conditions that could exceed 1.5 times any of the standards. For the monitor itself, think of the running conditions as gates. The engine is running in closed-loop fuel control, battery voltage is above 11.0 volts, barometric pressure is greater than 75 kPa, ambient temperature is above -7 degrees C, 20 degrees F, fuel level is greater than 12%, and altitude is below 2,590 m 8,500 ft. The code sets when the combined short-term and long-term fuel correction drops below the calibrated rich threshold, generally 67%, with 100% as nominal. After 30 seconds of fail time, the diagnostic fails. First, read the codes from all electronic control units and record the data. Save the scan report and the related recorded data, then erase the codes. Turn the ignition off for a minimum of 10.0 seconds, turn it back on and operate the vehicle under the conditions that set P0175. Then read the codes again. If P0175 comes back, keep going with this path. If it does not come back, treat it as an intermittent condition, rather than forcing a hard fault diagnosis. Next, look at the recorded codes. If there are active or pending fuel system or air handling concerns, handle those first. That includes the kinds of faults that can affect oxygen sensor feedback, manifold pressure, injectors, ignition, or general drivability. If there are no active or pending fuel or air handling codes, move on. Now check the exhaust system for restriction. Start the engine, make sure there is good exhaust flow at the tailpipe, and visually inspect the exhaust for damage that could restrict flow. If you find a restriction or damage that affects flow, repair that and verify the repair. If the exhaust checks out, check MAP sensor operation using the proper MAP sensor test. If that test finds a problem, repair it and verify the repair. If not, continue down the P0175 path. Next is the purge solenoid. Turn the ignition off and disconnect the hoses at the purge solenoid. Using a hand vacuum pump, apply 5.0 Hg to the engine side of the purge solenoid. It should hold vacuum for a minimum of 15 seconds. If it holds, reconnect the vacuum hoses before continuing. If it does not hold, verify good pin-to-terminal contact at the EVAP purge solenoid and PCM connectors. If the connectors check out, replace the purge solenoid, then verify the repair. After purge operation passes, check the fuel delivery system with the proper fuel delivery test. If that test finds a problem, make the appropriate repair and verify it. If fuel delivery passes, move into engine mechanical checks. Make sure the air induction system is not restricted, valve timing is within specification, compression is within specification, and the fuel is not contaminated. If a leaking injector or abnormal spray pattern is suspected, remove the fuel rail with the injectors intact. Energize the fuel pump to maintain pressure in the rail. Check for leakage before actuating the suspect injector. Then actuate the suspect injector with the scan tool and compare the spray pattern against the others. Any mechanical problem found gets repaired and verified. If no mechanical problem is found, continue. Now the path moves to the 2/1 upstream oxygen sensor circuit. Disconnect the bank 2 upstream O2 sensor connector and the PCM-C2 connector. Do not probe the PCM harness connector directly. Probing those terminals can damage them and create a poor terminal-to-pin connection. Use the GPEC Diagnostic 10436 adapter, when a PCM connector terminal has to be checked. Check the upstream O2 sensor wiring between the O2 sensor connector and the PCM-C2 connector for a short to ground, and for an open or high resistance. If you find a wiring problem, repair it and verify the repair. If the wiring checks clean, go to the sensor step. With no problems found in the earlier checks and no wiring fault found, replace the Bank 2 upstream O2 sensor. Reconnect the Bank 2 upstream O2 sensor connector and the PCM connectors, turn the ignition on, and erase the codes. Then reproduce the captured or monitored conditions that set P0175. If the code does not return, the upstream O2 sensor corrected the fault. Verify the repair. If P0175 returns, continue to the connector and harness inspection. For the final harness check, disconnect all PCM connectors, any related inline connectors if equipped, and the related component connectors. Inspect the connectors and terminals for installation problems, damaged locks, corrosion, water intrusion, weather seal damage if equipped, bent terminals, overheating from a poor connection, terminals pushed back into the cavity, spread terminals and proper terminal tension. Repair any condition found, then reconnect the PCM connectors, inline connectors if equipped, and related component connectors, making sure they are fully seated and the locks are engaged. Erase the codes, operate the vehicle under the conditions that set the fault, and read the codes again. If P0175 does not return, the wiring or poor connection problem has been repaired. If P0175 does return after that connector path, replace and program the PCM, then verify the repair. The takeaway on P0175 is to prove the rich condition path before condemning the sensor. Confirm the code, clear out other fuel and air handling issues first, check exhaust, map, purge, fuel delivery and mechanical causes, then move into O2 wiring, the upstream O2 sensor, and finally the PCM path only after the earlier checks are clean. For more diagnostic training, visit stepdiagnostics.com.